Well, on this episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not the host of this show. Kenny's going to be the host of this show. I can't wait for it, though, man. I'm going to be a contestant. So are every single one of you, as well as Trevor, as well as Jody, on Around the Horseshoe. Can't wait to get it started. Well, right about now. I was just about to ask, where's Trevor, man? Trevor, you barely made it, man. Welcome to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name's Keith Brugman. I'm going to take the bottom of the screen if you're watching live. If you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, where we're at as well. This means nothing to you. But we're also on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate everybody that's coming live to another fantastic episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. But like I said in the intro, this isn't my show. Maybe I'll throw it around the horn to the host of the show, I guess. That'd be Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Welcome to what, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick?
It's another episode of Around the Horseshoe. This is our second one. We had a successful one last year. Denver Bronco Roundup is the best Bronco podcast on earth. Well, we are now bringing the best Bronco game show to earth and Around the Horseshoe. And our three contestants tonight are my three fellow horsemen. And going to get right into it. Ernie Mays saying hello, everybody. So we'll just get Ernie a big hello to Ernie. And everybody out there, you are going to be a part of this game show as well. So I'll explain the rules, and then we'll get our intros out.
Ooh.
Simple point system. One positive 1 point to 3 points on how well you like my fellow co-hosts and horsemen's answers to the questions, all the way down to -3 if you didn't like them. We'll take a vote. If there's a tie, I'll decide the vote, and I'll have my point system here as well. That being said, before we even get started with intros, I did ask for something in the chat, in our side chat, Keith, Trevor, and Jody, and that was if you guys can wear something Broncos. So, Keith, can you put yourself on big screen and switch spots with me? Because these are going to be awarded points, and I'm going to award Keith 2 points. No, we're going to go simple. We're going to go 1 point. Keith, nice Bronco shirt, got the Denver Bronco hat. He came prepared. I'm going to give Keith 1 bonus point for wearing Bronco gear tonight. Let's move over to Jody. I see a nice old school Bronco hat along with an old school Bronco shirt. Jody simply gets 1 bonus point as well to start the show. And then last
one, you got robbed, Jody.
Man.
I would have given you 2 right there, buddy. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't want to give up 2. We're gonna
the matching hat.
It's a bonus point. It's a bonus round. So it's either bonus point or 0 points. Trevor, I don't see any Bronco stuff on. I do see stuff in the background, but I did ask if you could wear. So Trevor's in the hole, but he got a long way to catch it. A long show to catch up, let's say. And that being said, Trevor, you're not going to get a bonus point. So my special bonus point round, Keith and Jody start the show off with 1 point and Trevor 0. Again, audience, after our questions, you guys get to vote how well you like the horsemen's answers, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Any questions you want to add to the show, throw them in the chat, and we'll get them in one way or the other. That being said, I'm known as the stepfather, but here in Maryland today. We had 108 heat index. So I got the Hawaiian shirt on as the host. So tonight I'm Cowabunga Ken. your fellow Denver Bronco, Round the Horseshoe host. Aloha to all y'all. And if Patrick's out there, aloha to you as most as well there. So let's start it off with some intros. And going to go to Keith first for his intro. And intro, Keith, you got 30 seconds to say whatever you want. And then at the very end, you can trash talk your opponents for a few seconds.
Ooh, love it. Love it. I'll go ahead and I'll say this. This is the season, Broncos country. Let's face it. The defense is elite. They're top level. We've added to them. They were already great last year. Sean Payton picked his guy last year. We've been putting pieces and parts together. We have a roster that is stacked. We have a roster that is built. And it is time for the Denver Broncos to take that next step. We'll see what all my other contestants have to say about the Denver Broncos tonight. But I know I'm going to hold them to the fire because this is the year that we need to start seeing the steps. Good luck, gentlemen. I'm going to take it.
I got Keith as the betting favorite right now. He is the owner of Denver Bronco Roundup and Rocky Mountain Sports Network and our lead host. So he has to be the favorite, but that doesn't mean anything. Those out there in the betting world, bet responsibly. 2-1 odds for Keith Brugman for tonight's show. And if anybody wants to give Keith the point, how many points he gets, I'll give him a few seconds. We'll go to Jody next. And then after Jody, we'll see if anybody adds any points in there for Keith. And then I'll give you my points for Keith as well. So, Jody, take it away. 30 seconds.
This is the year. We've built this defense up right. We are ready to make a run. I'm looking way more than just a division title this year. I want a Super Bowl this year. We have all the pieces, and Sean Payton has done this right. Now, can he run the football? We've went out and got J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. Him paired with Audric Estime, I think the three of them can be a three-headed monster. It's what we lacked last year. It's time for Sean Payton to show that he can run the football and the missing piece on offense.
Well said, Jody. Going to give Keith's score right now. I got Keith Stober. Welcome, Keith. Miss Pearl is in there. We're doing a little game show tonight, Pearl. You get to vote on how many points, +3 all the way down to -3 on each answer that my fellow horsemen give. So please play along. Anyone else just coming in, play along. Clayton's given Keith max 3 points. It's early in the show. I went with 2, Keith, so very strong score. I see that. And then for Jody as well, everybody, throw your points in there for Jody as we go to Trevor for his 30 seconds and any trash talking he wants to do.
I think I should have
Jody's
showed up.
odds, by the way. Jody's our long shot because he just came back after a little break. So Jody might be a little rusty, but Jody might get his fandom in some of these questions. So I got him as a long shot, but I'm a long shot player. I got Jody at 10-1.
Underdog. It's all right. Let's go, Jody. I mean, first and foremost, this is the third season of Sean Payton being in Denver, second year with Bo Nix. I mean, what else is there need to do? You built up this team up to this point. There's nothing else that you have to be able to, keep talking about. I mean, you're right here. This is what Sean Payton wanted. It's why he took the job in Denver to get to this point and build this roster up. Because it's not just Bo Nix. It's Pat Bryant. It's R.J. Harvey. It's this defense. And so Sean Payton, it's time to get this offense rolling. Your defense was a top 5 unit last year in many different categories. Now you got to step up to the plate and make sure that offense is a little bit more consistent. But let's go. Third season with Sean Payton. Nothing but growth from this team going forward, and you just need a chance. You can be in as a wild card and still win the Super Bowl.
Jody, you're getting some respect too. Keith Stober went with a 1 that's still positive. Clayton, welcome, Clayton. Good to see you. Jody's going with a 2. Ernie threw his scores in. Keith gets a 2. Jody gets a 3. We'll get to Trevor in a second. Jody, I got you respectfully as a 2 as well. Little long shot there. I like some of your takes. So you got 2 points after the intro. Trevor, you're right there in the middle odds-wise. I would have you neck and neck with Keith at 2-1. But sometimes if I say 30 seconds, you might go on for 2 minutes, and that's going to be deducting points from you tonight if that's the case. But prove me wrong. I got you at a solid 5-1 and a good betting choice there for anybody out there who wants to put a little fun little pizza bet on for anybody there. Thank you, Paul, saying good idea. And Trevor, I see 1, 2 from 2, getting a couple 2s. Trevor 3, want more from our O. Clayton saying, and you know what? I'm going to go right down the board with a 2 for Trevor as well after the intro. You guys would have gotten more 3s if you did some trash talking. You guys are being too nice to each other. So just kidding.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's get the main part of the show rolling. Keith, I'm going to give this is how we're going to play this one this time around. Keith, you're going to get to choose the order for this round. Do you want to go first, second, or third? And then where do you want Jody and Trevor to go?
I'll go first. I'll put Trevor second, Jody third.
Okay, so we got Keith up first for this question, which is going to be a minute or less total. Mini camp just ended, fellas, audience. Where would you rank our offense and defenses after mini camp? Meaning first being best, 32nd being worst. Minute or less, Keith, starts now.
Well, Kenny, I'm going to start off this way. If hopefully my contestants don't continue to just steal my ideas and expound upon them. So that's why I decided I was going to go first on this one. I expect this Denver Broncos team to be a top 5 offense. Why not? They were a top 10 offense last year. They were one of the best as far as scoring. You look at Bo Nix and what he was able to do after stumbling and falling on his face almost in the first 3 weeks. It took till week 3 till he finally scored his first touchdown, threw for his first touchdown. And then look at where he ended up. Offensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year candidate heading into the end. Now we go out and we get all the pieces that we've been asking for, begging for. We need a tight end. We got the tight end. We need a running back. We got the running back. Top 5 offense, top 3 defense. All we did is add there. We had a legitimate top 5 defense. Now we bring in Jade Barron. Now we bring in Dre Greenlaw. Now we bring in Talanoa Hufanga. Pro Bowlers, key pieces, captains, top 3 defense, top 5 offense. Prove me wrong. That's where I end up.
Love it. Love it. Chat, audience, get your votes in. -3 up to +3. Albert's saying hello. Good friend Carson over there, co-host on K&K. Carson saying hello. Ernie going with a 1 for Keith. We'll give a couple people time. Who is next, Keith? Trevor or Jody?
Right down the list. Trevor's next.
Trevor is up. We got a 3 and a 2 also. Keep the votes coming in. When Trevor's done, we will get the final score in for Keith for this round. Same question, Trevor.
First and foremost, I want to go kind of rebuttal my co-host here. He says
all the time you want.
He says, yeah, exactly. This might be 5 minutes. But Keith says that there's concerns with Sean Payton about this offense. Well, he just said it's a top 5 unit. Which is it? That's kind of my trash talk right here. Kenny, you wanted it. Here it is. Keith, which is it? Is this team going to be a top 5 unit offensive wise, or are they going to be a middle pack? You have concern about Sean Payton? I don't know, my friend. I don't know where your head's at exactly, which one you're in particular zoning in on. But Kenny, for me, this offense is a top 12 unit. I think that they were had their struggles last year, of course, with Bo Nix. They were 19th in yards, Kenny, last year, and they were 10th in points last year. This team could get points, but they struggled to move the football, especially running the football this year. I think they take steps in the right direction, but I do not think they're a top 5 unit quite yet. I think they need some time to kind of get in rhythm a little bit and kind of get these rookies up to par. Defensive wise, I think this defense is a top 5 unit. Denver was 7th in yards last season and 3rd in points allowed last season, and they just allowed 18 points per game last season, Kenny, in POSSE. And so I think this is a top 5 defense. You added the players you added. If these guys can stay healthy, Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, I don't see why this defense can't be a top 5 unit once again this season.
Well said. We'll let the chat vote for Trevor. All over the board there for Keith. We got some 2s, we got some 3s, we got some 1s. Keith, I'm sorry, I got to go with a 1, and it's because of what Trevor said. It's not because of where you had the Broncos ranked. It's because you said you had concerns. And if you're a top 5 offense, there's not too many concerns, in my opinion. So still got positive because you nailed it with the defense. So you get a point, and you're at 2 after the intro and first round. Time to vote for Trevor. We got a 3. Wow, exploding upon launch. 3. Oops, 3 was a misfire. Trevor gets a 3. Clayton going 1, and Paul with a 2. So we got some 3s, a 2, and a 1 out there right now, and it's up to Jody. Jody's going to get the final say, so this is an important 3 can be an advantage spot in each round. If your co-host didn't say something and you got it at the end, it could work it to your advantage. Jody, what do you got for us?
This defense should be the best defense in football. No fly zone 2.0. When you go out and draft Jahdae Barron in the first round, Thorpe Award winner, replaced who many said was the best slot cornerback in football, and Jaquan McMillan. This defense is not weak at any position. Barring everyone stays healthy, this defense is going to carry this team to a lot of wins. When the offense struggles a little bit, the defense will carry this team. On offense, I expect some struggles in the beginning as they find their footing, new players, new running back, new tight end, Pat Bryant. Once they get their footing, I expect this offense to explode. I don't need Saquon Barkley in the backfield. I just need Sean Payton to commit to the run game when it's needed and when it's running, and commit to somebody when and do it efficiently. This offense should be a top 10 offense, if not fringe top 5. I've said it multiple times. I look for Bo Nix to be in the MVP race running this year. Forget just getting in the playoffs and winning a playoff game. It's Super Bowl or bust.
Well said, Jody. You got a couple 3s out there. And you know what? I'm not. I had you down as a solid 2, borderline 3 as well. So I'm not even going to wait until the next round. You're going to get a 3. So there's the long shot. After intro and first round, Jody has 4, Trevor and Keith 2. So Jody off to a nice start. Question 2, we'll go to Trevor for the order, how he wants to do the order. The question is, Trevor, first-year veteran who will have the biggest impact in the 2025-2026 Broncos.
I'll go first, and then I'm going to go Keith and then Jody.
Okay. So you got a minute or less to tell me who's going to make the biggest impact. We had the 4 names I could think of: J.K. Dobbins, Dre Greenlaw, Tualana Hufanga, and help me out. What am I drinking?
Dre Greenlaw.
Dre Greenlaw, I said.
that.
J.K. Dobbins.
Evan Ingram. I forgot.
Ingram. Oh,
Yeah,
my
so
goodness.
those are the 4 that come to mind. Trevor, which route do you want to take? Who's going to have the biggest impact on this Broncos team?
How could I forget this guy? Because this is a guy that I actually was going to say, Evan Ingram. I mean, to me, this guy just 2 years ago was a player that was a Pro Bowler. And we talk about safety blanket. What was Cortland Sutton for Bo Nix this year? Safety blanket. What was Evan Ingram for Trevor Lawrence a couple of years ago? A safety blanket. He was a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. And so I think if you're Denver, you're getting that. He's a veteran, reliable option for Bo Nix. Evan Ingram's best season he had, his catch percentage was 80%. This guy can catch the football. He's got reliable hands. The biggest thing with Evan Ingram, and this is the biggest thing for all these guys that the Broncos have brought in this year, both on offense and defense, is health. And if he can stay healthy, be on the field, I don't see why he can't be up there with Cortland Sutton for receptions and yards and still have a really solid season. Does Denver need Evan Ingram to be outstanding Pro Bowler? No, they need him to be a reliable pass catcher for Bo Nix and give him another option on offense.
Well said. We'll get the chat some time to vote. My good friend, my co-host on K&K, Mr. Kurt Valenti saying hello. Boys, the AFC now runs through Denver. Best defense in football, Nixon MVP race, Peyton Coach of the Year, Harvey Rookie of the Year race. There's a new sheriff in the AFC. They are our Denver Broncos, boys. Well, I think Around the Horseshoe just ended. Kurt got 30 points for that statement. Good to see you, Kurt. Kurt and I will be down at Jersey Shore for a week, taking a nice needed vacation with Kurt, his family, and looking forward to that. Ernie's giving you a 3. Keith Stober's giving you a 2. Clayton's giving you a 2. I'll give a couple people some time to tune in and give you a score, Trevor. In the meantime, we'll go to Keith was up next, right? Or is it Jody?
It would be me.
That's right. You got it in order. Yep.
Keith,
which route are you going? You're in the middle here. You got a choice of going with what Trevor said, or you can go on your own.
Well,
a lot of good choices.
I do have a lot of good choices. I could go ahead and just placate everybody and and say that it's all of them. They're all going to be great because that seems like the best way to get points sometimes. Or I could take the low-hanging fruit and go for Evan Ingram and double up on what Trevor said. So I'm going to go a different route, and I'm going to say J.K. Dobbins. When you look at this Denver Broncos offense, there's only 2 places that you really look at needing some additional help. That tight end position, and of course that running back position. This running back position has been, well, I hate to say it, Broncos fans, and you all know it, it's been lackluster, if not borderline pathetic for how many years? Now you bring in a guy that in his short stint, in his injury year, he goes ahead and outperforms our top running back last year, who played, well, every game healthy in one Javonte Williams. I'm going J.K. Dobbins here. J.K. Dobbins paired with R.J. Harvey, that's the 1-2 punch. Forget about the 3-headed monster. I want the 1-2 punch. J.K. Dobbins is going to be the guy who makes the biggest impact on this roster. He's great at the goal line. He doesn't fumble the ball. And he's a leader where you need some veteran leadership, and that's in that running back room. That's where I'm going, Kenny.
Like it, Keith. Like it. Trevor, you got a couple 3s from a couple 2s, I'm sorry, from the audience and a 3. So my vote's not going to count. So you get 2 points, solid score in question 3. Pearl's a little confused with the score. If you ever seen the show on ESPN called Around the Horn, they had some panelists and the host would give them some fun points and they'd be eliminated after each round, at each commercial break. Miss Pearl, we're not having any eliminations. We're just doing a simple score, -3 if you don't like what my fellow horsemen say, all the way up to +3 points for everything you like that they said. So if that clarified it a little bit, Keith's getting a couple 3s, but we're going to give time for some more people to answer while we go to Jody for his take on who's going to be the veteran with the biggest impact in their first year with the Broncos.
No eliminations, Jody. Don't worry.
For me, it's Dre Greenlaw. We haven't had a linebacker since probably Al Wilson that can thump like this. He can also cover. If he can stay healthy, this is an all-pro caliber linebacker that we haven't had in this defense for a very long time. No more Travis Kelce going off in games. No more tight ends going off for 100-plus receiving yards. Dre Greenlaw solves a lot of problems. It's one of the weaknesses on this team last year. We went out and addressed it first thing. If healthy, look for Dre Greenlaw to be an all-pro this year and lead this team deep into the playoffs and bring back Al Wilson memories. Well
said, Jody. Well said. You got 1-3 to start it up with Ernie. To Keith, don't need my vote. You got a couple 3s there, Keith. So you get a solid best score at around 3 points. we'll give people a couple moments for Jody. I see a 3. I see a 2. Anybody else want to throw a vote out for Jody? Keith throwing the 3 out there. Keith Stober. Jody, you're going to get 3. So Jody off to a solid start. Everybody's being kind with the points right now. So after third question, Jody 7, Keith 5, Trevor 4. I have a feeling Trevor's coming back, though, with some of these questions that are coming up, though. So, Jody, you get to round 4. I'm looking at the time. We could probably finish this question, Keith, and then we could take our intermission break. Round 4, Jody, you pick the order. Rookie who will be starting week 1. Let's do this one in 30 seconds or less so we can get to all the questions on this show that we have on our agenda. So pick the order. Which rookie? No Crawshaw, respectfully, because we know he's starting. But anybody else? Rookie, Cody, how you want to do it?
I'll go first, and you can just go bottom to top.
So Keith will be second, Trevor third. Take it away, Jody. Rookie who will be starting week 1.
This is an easy one for me, Jody Baird. You had a top 3 to 5 defense last year, and you went out and drafted defense first round. You are looking to replace a slot cornerback who is above average, who many say is probably the top 5 slot cornerback in the NFL, and Jaquan McMillan with Jody Baird. Thorpe Award winner, can play multiple positions inside, outside, can be in your nickel, dime, base package. For me, this is an easy one. He makes this defense a solid, makes this secondary the best secondary in football.
Well said. In the time frame as well. Keith, 30 seconds or less. This is a faster paced one.
Ooh, let's go. You know, how fast are we going to go? We're going to go as fast as that wide receiver room needs to go, because when you look at a Marvin Mims who's only pulling in less than 30% of the snaps, when you talk about Troy Franklin who's pulling in less than 45% of the snaps, and then you add in a Pat Bryant that goes out there and takes the place of a Devon Vele and lights it up in minicamp, that's the guy that I want to see on the field. I understand that Jahdae Barron's first-round pick. Pat Bryant's the guy that needs to take over. He needs to take that spot. We all love Tim Patrick. He's the next Tim Patrick. Get him out there. Opposite of Cortland Sutton. Bam, Pat Bryant. That's who I got, man. I'm not going easy. Hanging fruit. That's where I'm at.
Jody, you came down to earth a little bit. You got a 3 from Paul. You got a 2 from Ernie. You got a 2 from me as well. The only reason I gave you a 2 is Barron starting means he's going to have to take over Riley Moss's spot if it's a base defense. So that's what I meant by that's the only thing. So it's not perfect. So I'm going to go 2. So you came down to earth a little bit, but you still got a solid lead. 2's a respectful score. Keith's getting a 3 from Ernie, a 3 from Paul, a 3 from Paul Schaefer, a 3 from Pearl. Keith, I'm not even going to waste time. You got 3 points. And before I go to Trevor for his starter. So they love the Pat Bryant start and roll there. They love that take. And I liked it too, Keith. He probably would have gotten a 3 from me as well.
Oh boy, I wish I could rebuttal that. I would in a heartbeat. But for me, it's going to be RJ Harvey. I have 30 seconds, so I don't have the time to. But for me, it's RJ Harvey. I think this is a guy that Sean Payton loves, and I think he loves more than what he says. He took him 60th overall in the second round in the NFL draft. You know he's got big plans for RJ Harvey. I wouldn't agree with the whole Reggie Bush kind of thing, or like Alvin Kamara. That's his comparison. I think this is more of a Darren Sproles kind of role, but you get him earlier. I think RJ Harvey has upside. Got to get better in pass blocking, but we all know J.K. Dobbins, you're not going to get a full season out of him. RJ Harvey is going to be your starting running back at the end of the season. Maybe not start the season as your running back, but at the end of the season, I think he will be starting running back.
Love it. In the time frame, guys doing great. Ernie gives Trevor a 2, Clayton a 3. I got to give my buddy Trevor a 3 this round. He's been getting solid 2s. He started off in the hole with a 0 with no Bronco gear on tonight. I got to give him a 3 after this round. So at the break, Jody's in the lead with 9 points. Keith's in second, 8 points. and Trevor's in third with 7 points. So anybody's game heading into the break. And how about that? We're almost right on the 30-minute mark, Keith. I'll pass it back to you, my friend, for our intermission.
Not just any intermission, man. It's talking about our most amazing sponsor, and that's Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets has been rock solid, absolute supporter of what Denver Bronco Roundup, Rocky Mountain Sports Network does day in, day out, week after week, month after month. And how do they help support us? Well, they help support us in ways that, financially help, the books a little bit. But how can you support us? How can you support them? By heading over to the leader in Southwest jewelry, Southwest pottery, estate gold wholesale prices for over 34 years. If you're interested in any of that, I'm telling you, this is the place to go. Like I said, once a nationwide company, once doing it for 34 years, they were once a nationwide company. Now they're just in your backyard, Northern Colorado, Southern Wyoming. And I'll tell you what, if you're out there, you're taking in one of those shows out of the fairgrounds, a gem show, a mineral show, a dog show, something's happening in your community, I almost guarantee, Morgan Trinkets is going to be there. Pearl's going to be there. Check them out. If you're not able to get there, please do me a favor. Head on over to Etsy. Everyone's on Etsy. And head on over and type in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. I'm going to flash it up here on the screen. And there you are. You're checking out everything that Pearl has to offer, from, all those estate gold wholesale prices, those, Southwest jewelry, Southwest pottery, as well as the silver. Sterling silver, 100% sterling silver. All orders over $50 are shipped absolutely free. All major credit cards are accepted as well. So please head on over to Morgan Trinkets. They've been a great supporter of us. We'd appreciate you supporting them. And that's it, Kenny. I'm rusty. I'm coming in not being able to host all show long, and I'm coming in rusty on this Morgan Trinkets sponsorship. But that being said, we appreciate them a ton. They do so much for us, and we appreciate everyone that's able to support them on the other side as well.
Thank you, Pearl. Couple of hellos. I missed a hello from Roy. Good to see you, Roy, as always. Some nice words from Clayton, and this is why we do this, Clayton. We love to hear this feedback from you guys. Absolutely love that you guys did a twist to the show, Around the Horn. We named it Around the Horseshoe. Absolutely 100% times 5. Love it. Great job, guys. Thank you so much, Clayton. Again, we do this for you. We like having audience participation shows. We want to be unique, and we want to make it entertaining for all as well. And along with some Bronco knowledge, of course, and get that out for you guys. So thank you for those kind words, Clayton. On to the second half. Again, the score after the first half, Jody in the lead, the long shot, 9 points. Keith right behind with 8. And Trevor catching up with 7. Going to go back to Keith for the order for Patrick. Threw a question out there. I don't see him in the chat. If he's out there, say hello, Patrick. You threw this question out earlier, and we got it there for you. Patrick's question, 30 seconds or less, Keith. More rushing yards, J.K. Dobbins or Harvey? Choose the order, my friend.
If I'm going to choose the order, I'm going to do, unlike most of my co-hosts, I'll go a different order, and I'll put myself last. I'm going to put Jody on the spot, since he's seeming to run away with this score so far. Maybe put him on the spot, and I'll put Trevor second.
Nice. Jody, take it away. 30 seconds or less, more rushing yards, J.K. Dobbins, the veteran, or R.J. Harvey, the rookie. Now it's rushing yards only.
R.J. Harvey for me. J.K. Dobbins has to prove he can stay healthy for 17 games. That's his biggest knock. It's a reason he didn't hit 1,000 yards last year. I expect R.J. Harvey to play all 17 games. He may not start off the season as a starter, but I expect as the season goes on, you see him take over that starting running back position, and J.K. Dobbins move more into a Javonte Williams third down pass protecting type role. So give me R.J. Harvey all day.
Nice. Chat, get your votes in. Clayton throwing a 3 out there. We'll give some time. We'll go to Trevor for his answer. More rushing yards, J.K. Dobbins, the veteran, or R.J. Harvey, the rookie?
Yeah, I think it's going to be R.J. Harvey. I mean, not to repeat what Jody said at all, because here's the thing. J.K. Dobbins, he only started 11 games throughout his whole career. That's his most amount of games he's ever started. I know he's only 26 years old. I get that. But the thing is, he's 26 years old, and he's got a pretty decent injury history behind him. R.J. Harvey coming in with fresh legs. Sean Payton, I think he loves him. I mean, you're not taking him in the second round to just let him sit on the bench. He's going to be involved in the passing game. I don't necessarily know how much rushing yards he's going to get, if he'll ever get to that 1,000-yard mark this season, but I think he's going to be a step in the right direction from where this team was last year. But for me, it's R.J. Harvey. He's going to make a pretty big impact, I think, on this Broncos running game this season.
2 3s and a 2 from Paul Schaefer for Jody. So Jody gets 3 again. Trevor gets a 3. Similar. Trevor gets a 3 from Ernie. We'll give a couple more people time while we go to Keith. Maybe backfired going last. We'll see.
Well, I let him go first, and I think we're all going to be saying the exact same thing. But if you want to rewind the tape, you can find out where I said it first, because this was one of my dark horses that we should go out and select was R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey was my guy that I loved pre-draft. We didn't like a whole lot, Kenny. We didn't like a whole lot, Jody. We didn't like a whole lot, Trevor, but very few came true to the Denver Broncos. R.J. Harvey was a love of mine, and the reason I love him is because I think he's going to go out there and he's going to bust it open in a Sean Payton offense like we haven't seen. R.J. Harvey all day long, easy vote.
Yep. I see similar answers from similar points for Trevor. So Trevor's going to get 3 as well, and we're going to go 3s across the board. Of course, you got to give Keith the 3 as well. Roy Osborne also gets 3. Harvey, unproven. Dobbins, I get he's been injured. So to me, who knows yet? So I'm going to give Roy also 3 points for that round. So good job, Roy. All right. This question comes from Jody, our fellow horseman. So Jody, you're going to get to choose the order. Jahdae Barron remains unsigned. Is this a big deal or not? 30 seconds or less, Jody. Choose the order. Oh, you double mic.
You can go bottom to top.
All right, Keith, you're up first.
I don't think it's a big deal. And the reason I don't think it's a big deal is, where's the guy been? At minicamp, participating in every single piece. We all know that sometimes contracts come about, but we also know that the Denver Broncos aren't the Cincinnati Bengals. They're doing right by him. They're going to get him taken care of. Little things are had to come together. But Jahdae Barron is out there participating. He's part of every piece of the process. I'm not concerned. Denver Broncos country, I would say you don't be concerned as well.
Great job, Keith. And chat, throw the votes in there. Yep, 3 is the max for this one, Paul. Don't want to, keeping the scores on the lower side. Keith, no big deal. 3. Paul's going 2. We'll go to Trevor, get his thoughts on it, and then we'll get Keith's points out there before we go to Jody.
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal right now. Now, if this deal is not signed before training camp, I think it starts becoming more of a deal. The more and more it kind of lingers on, I don't think it's a big deal right now, because you still got about a month until training camp. But, I mean, there's still time to get a deal done. Like Keith said, the Broncos do a good job at taking care of their own players. But there's got to be some sort of concern, like, hey, what is he asking for? Is his agent getting in his ear a little bit more? I think it's more concerned about his agent, Kenny, than it is Jahdae Barron that's kind of maybe behind this. But I think that we don't see a lot of first-round picks sit out for very long if they can get a deal done. So I don't think it's a big deal right now, but just something to kind of watch towards training camp. I expect them to get a deal done here relatively shortly, though.
Yep. Keith, you get 3 from the chat. The chat's been very nice to everybody. Guys, could be a little critical towards our co-hosts here. You don't have to give all 3s. I'm just saying that. Roy with a nice 2.6. That's rounded up to 3, so we got to give it a 3 there, Roy. Ernie 3 for and Clayton 3 for Trevor. Paul Schaefer coming in with a 2. He's being realistic. But both you guys get 3s. And Jody, your question, and it was a good one. Take it away.
This is definitely not a big deal. He signed a injury clause so he could participate in OTAs. He's been at all OTAs. He's shown he's committed, and even though he's still not under contract, and now that Travis Hunter, arguably the best cornerback in this draft, has signed, I look for Jody Barron to sign fairly quickly. Now, if we get to training camp and he's still not signed, then yes, I can see it turning into a big deal. But as of today, it is a no big deal, and Denver Broncos country has nothing to worry about.
Well said, Jody. I'm going to go through. We got threes coming in, so you guys were all on agreement, so it wouldn't be fair to give somebody a lower score on that question. But good question, Jody. Thanks for thanks for the question. Little Jose Herrera saying hello on Facebook. Broncos, baby, let's go. What's up, Jose? Thank you for joining Denver Bronco Roundup. Playing a little twist on the popular ESPN show Around the Horn, Jose. I'm sure you've seen that in the many years it was on, but this is all Denver Bronco related. And play along with the audience if you'd like. We're ranking everybody from -3 all the way up to +3 for points on their answers. Trevor, I'm going to give you the chance to throw the order out at Keith's question here. Keith's question was Denver Bronco coach under the most pressure, but I'm going to add a minute total. I want a coach under the most pressure and a player under the most pressure in 1 minute total. Order you want to go in?
I'll go Keith, Jody, and then me.
Putting Keith on the spot first for his question.
All right, man. If I'm going to go on the clock, I'm going to go coach first. It's got to be Vance Joseph. It's got to be VJ, right? We just talked. Every single one of us just talked about how loaded this defense is. I saw no yards 2.0, no fly zone 2.0. The expectations around this defense after what they came off of, and let's face it, throughout last season with a top 10 defense at sometimes even higher, Vance Joseph's, call for his head was loud. If it's not Vance Joseph, I don't know who it is. I understand that Sean Payton needs to kick it in the butt as far as his offense is concerned, but Vance Joseph has already felt like he has been on the hot seat with the Denver Broncos already. Now you give him all the pieces and the parts. If there's a failure in this defense, boy, talk about a guy who's going to be held accountable. As far as the offensive side, it's the player side. I'm sorry, misspoke. The player side of who needs to absolutely show up and show out and is under the most amount of pressure. Boy, does it get much more than Jaquan McMillan? And what we just end up doing in the first round was Jody Barron. I mean, if there's going to be a CB3 on this team and you're already got Riley Moss, you've already got the best in PS2, and now you just drafted Jody Barron, good luck. Good luck, man. Uphill battle. Guy played great last year, didn't get as much respect as he should, but he's going to be absolutely fighting tooth and nail for that CB3 spot with Jody Barron now on the roster. That's what I got to say. That's my 2.
Well said. You got a 3 ready. We'll give people a chance to vote for Keith. We'll go to Trevor, but Jose's saying hello from, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, Jose, Coachella Valley, California. Did I say that correctly or close enough? And what part of California is that? Is that Southern California? Is that closer to Sacramento, up that way? Thank you for joining us and welcome to Denver Bronco Roundup. So yeah, a couple threes from coming out there for Keith. Again, the chat's been very nice. I haven't had a chance to vote, but Trevor, you're up.
No, it's Jody.
Jody. I saw you in the middle, so I assumed you were up. Sorry.
Messed that up, man.
I'm going to go I'm going to go Sean Payton for one reason. Can he commit to running the football? Do I expect a 50-50 split? No, but will he commit to running the football when Bo Nix is not on his A game, when the game is tight and you need to run the ball to run clock? Can he commit to that? Can he do it and prove that he can do it more than just writing it on the back of his card? He went out and got RJ Harvey, then went out and got J.K. Dobbins. You have the pieces you need. Commit to running the football. Commit to running it when it's needed. That is, from all takes, that is the biggest thing this offense lacked last year. You have to commit to running the football when it's needed. And to keep this offense balanced, it will only help Bo Nix.
Well said. Thanks, Paul. I wanted something other than a 3, and Paul gave me a -1. Just kidding. I love you, Paul. Thank you for the comedy, the fun there. I love it. I probably would be getting all -1s if I was up against my fellow horsemen. All due, compliments to them because they're nailing it every question here. Clayton 3. Ernie throwing a 2 at Jody.
Oh.
We're going to let Trevor go, and then I get to vote possibly here. 2 for Rocket. He haven't even gone yet, Paul. He's giving you a 2. But Paul, it's funny. Trevor, you're up, and who are you going with here?
The coach under the most pressure. I'm going to say Sean Payton. I mean, it's not really like rocket science for me, I should say, to use the term rocket man in there. I think Sean Payton, just from his offensive standpoint, what the Broncos have paid to get Sean Payton in the building, giving up multiple premium draft picks and making him one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. And you didn't do that for a top 5 defense. You did that to bring in Sean Payton to get this offense to be more explosive. You want to find your quarterback. You have your quarterback in place now. Okay, now this season, second season of Bo Nix, you got to be able to prove that this offense can be explosive. I mean, we have yet to see it, and I don't think it's been consistent enough. That's been a big component of Sean Payton. Jody mentioned it too. The run game, it's got to be more consistent. You can't go away from the run game. When it's working, and you shouldn't be where you're on TV and it says run the ball on the back of the play card. That shouldn't be a thing. You stick to what works. If he's throwing the football, that's fine, totally understandable. But you got to stick to what works. Player-wise, Kenny, the player that's under the most pressure, it's Nick Bonito. 13.5 sacks this past season. He's in the final year of his contract. If he has a breakout season, this possible season, I think this could be huge for Nick Bonito. Imagine what an edge rusher like Nick Bonito could possibly get if he pans out and has a double-digit sack season or leads the Broncos in sacks again this season. Nick Bonito, there's pressure there because he's got to be improved. That last year wasn't a fluke for him, and he can continue to be that elite edge rusher that we've seen last season.
Awesome job. Jody, you left a point on the board. You got a 2 this round from the chat, and I gave you a 2 as well. Time to catch up for Keith and Trevor there. Trevor gets 3s from the chat, but from Keith he gets a -3, and he almost got Trevor laughing there. I noticed, caught that one. So, but he gets a 3. Updated score. Jody and Keith are now tied 17 apiece. Trevor right behind 16. We got a couple more questions and a rapid fire round, and I know we're doing great on time, so I think we're going to get it all in within the hour here. I got a good question for everybody that Keith's going to choose the order for. Minute total, lock for Pro Bowl, long shot for Pro Bowl. Keith, what's the order you want? I mean, let's go Jody for the order in this one. I didn't go to Jody for a while on the order.
Trevor, Keith, me.
Trevor up. Lock Pro Bowl, long shot Pro Bowl. Which do you want to answer first? Who do you want to take your time wisely here? Choose your time wisely. You only have a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lock for Pro Bowl for all. Is it Pro Bowl or All Pro? Is it both?
Yeah, the All Pro or Pro
Okay.
the Pro Bowl games. Yeah,
Okay.
We'll call them the Pro Bowl games.
Lock for me to make the Pro Bowl. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I think with Patrick Surtain here. I mean, there's a couple different players that I'm thinking of that you could go with, but I think Patrick Surtain. I mean, he's established himself in the NFL, right, as being that elite cornerback, that shutdown corner. And we talked about the secondary about every single time we're on here. I swear, every episode we're talking about how great this potentially this secondary could be. Well, Patrick Surtain's a big part of that. He is your best player on this team on both sides of the football. He's, for me, is definitely a lock to make the Pro Bowl, and then that might be an easy answer, but it's the absolute truth. He is one of a kind. That's why Denver picked him when they picked him and paid him pretty handsomely. As far as dark horse for All Pro or Pro Bowl, I'm going to go Marvin Mims. I'm going to throw out Marvin Mims' name out there on offense, not special teams, on offense. And I'm going to say that because, yes, last season was a progressive season for Marvin Mims, but I don't think we've seen the best of Marvin Mims on the offensive side of the football. I still think there's a lot of upside there for Marvin Mims and to be involved in this offense. And he's kind of a guy that has kind of gotten forgotten with all these wide receivers right now that we talk about. Troy Franklin, we talk about Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton, of course. Marvin Mims' name doesn't really get mentioned as much as it should. I think this guy's on the uptick, and I think that he has a potential to have a breakout season and possibly be a long shot for the Pro Bowl on offense. We all know how special he is on special teams, but on offense, I think there's definitely more upside there for him.
Well said. Before I go to Keith, shout out to Joseph Fisher. I missed that comment earlier. I believe he's a newcomer to the Denver Bronco Roundup posse, so I do want to shout him out and say welcome, Joseph, and hopefully you enjoy what we're doing. That's Jose, Keith, and then Joseph was just a few comments later. But Joseph Fisher on Facebook, welcome to the Denver Bronco posse. Hope to see you around in many of our episodes. I'll go to Keith. We'll get everybody's votes in. I see PS2 3, Clayton giving you a 3, Pearl giving you a 2. I don't like Mims in the backfield. Good take, 3 from Paul Schaefer. We'll give a couple more people a chance to vote, and we'll go to Keith in the meantime.
Love to take the mic, man. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about the guy that's going to take this league by storm, not just be known to Broncos country, not just be known as an absolute menace in the AFC West, but is going to take it coast to coast as he stacks up big sack numbers. Nick Bonito is going to be an absolute lock for the Pro Bowl. Go ahead, get your pizza money out, as Kenny would say, and throw a little bit on Nick Bonito making a Pro Bowl. I think there's big games. I think he's going to show up. We're going to be in prime time. Nick Bonito is absolutely going to blow up. I'm looking for that 15-plus sack. I'm looking for him competing at Trey Hendrickson type of numbers. Nick Bonito is going to take the league by storm. The long shot. I've already talked about Nick Bonito being the lock. Where the heck is my long shot going to come from? It's the guy I've been talking about since, pre-draft. Go ahead and lock up RJ Harvey as a long shot for a Pro Bowl. If this guy goes out and he produces like Broncos country wants, needs, and is expected to do, in my opinion, underneath this Sean Payton offense, we could be talking about the first 1,000-plus yard rusher in a long time for the Denver Broncos. What does a 1,000-plus yard rusher do as a Denver Bronco for this type of player? He puts him in the Pro Bowl. He may not be first team. He may be second team. But this is a guy that has a chance to hit the Pro Bowl as a rookie year one.
Love it. Love your takes, guys. Keith, nice 3 from Ernie. Clayton, 3. Trevor, by the way, you got a 3 as well for the last round.
I might get a -1, but if we keep just handing out 3s, goodness gracious.
We're going to have to go to Roy's point system for the final if we got a tie. So we're not going to have a tie in this. We're going to have a point. We're going to have the percentage points there. It might come down to a 1/10 of a point. We'll see, but we're going to have a winner here. I promise. Jody, who's your guy?
Both of my guys are on offensive line. Quinn Miners is a lock for the Pro Bowl this year. If he is not the best guard in football, he's a top 2 guard behind Chris Lindstrom of the Falcons. He doesn't give up sacks. He is a bully in the run game. He is everything that he's the leader of this offense. He's everything that drives this offensive line. Can't go wrong with Quinn Miners, and he should be a lock for the Pro Bowl. Dark horse for the Pro Bowl for me, also on this O-line, is Luke Wattenberg. He came on towards the end of the season last year. He's an up-and-coming center. If you go off of metrics from ESPN, he was one of the best centers in pass blocking. This O-line as a whole was one of the best in run blocking. It just didn't get utilized enough. Sean Payton has said multiple times this offseason he expects him to take a step forward this year, and I expect him to be a fringe dark horse Pro Bowl candidate. And if so, this should be a top 3 offensive line in football.
Well said, Jody, and Ernie nailed it. Jody has to get a 3. 2 awesome takes. You nailed the long shot. When you talk long shots, Luke Wattenberg would be definitely a long shot. Not taking anything away from Keith and Trevor's long shots neither, but that's a great take on a long shot there, Jody. So you do get a 3 from a couple of people, and I'm going to give you a 3 as well. We got one more main question with the scores 20-19, and then maybe a rapid fire. But I'm looking at, we'll skip the rapid fire. So we're going to do one more question, guys. With the score 20-19, Trevor's going to get the choice of
who's got 19. At least let me know who's in the last place. Is it me?
Oh, Trevor's got 19. Keith and Jody 20. Sorry.
You've been getting 3s all night. You can't be saying anything.
This round, we're going to go with Roy Osborne's point system. So, Roy, yours and mine, and anybody else who wants to throw it out there. You can't be rounded numbers. It's going to come down to a 1/10 of a point possibly to win this. The question's off of Keith. Keith came up with this question and posted it on Rocky Mountain Sports Network's website. So check it out on Facebook. Check it out. Keith posted the question, most likely to happen this year. Nick Bonito, 15 sacks. RJ Harvey, 1,000 yards. Bo Nix, MVP, Trevor. Or D, Patrick Surtain, 2, back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Do I get to pick
30 seconds or less, you choose the order.
Okay. I'm going to go Jody, me, Keith.
This is an easy one for me. It's Bo Nix MVP. I've said for a while now, I expect him to be in the running for MVP. If you go look after the mini bye, after the Saints game, when he was forced to stay in the pocket and not one read and run, he was one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL. If you prorate his numbers out from that game on, he would have been around 4,500 pass yards, 42 touchdowns, and a whole offseason now of him as the true number 1 quarterback. He doesn't have to split time with Jarrett Stidham. There's no games now. He's came in. Everyone knows he's the leader. There's no more doubting his big-time arm. We've seen that multiple times, Buffalo game, Cincinnati game. We went out and got him a tight end for over the middle and a running back, 2 running backs. This is the year for Bo Nix.
We'll give that audience time to vote. Clayton's going 3. I got my points in here, so it may come down to my, the 1/10 of a point. But well said. And by the way, if you guys would have said 0 Pro Bowlers, you would have automatically won, because that means you either have terrible team or you're in the Super Bowl. So that's what you said. You guys could have nailed it by saying we don't have any Pro Bowlers because we're going to the Super Bowl. You missed that chance from Kenny, from your host, Cowabunga Ken. Little secret, point system there. You had an automatic winner with that answer, but you guys missed it. Oh, it's all good, because it's going to come down to this question and the last 2 guys up. Trevor, you're down by 1 point going into this 10th and final question. What's your take on this? In 30 seconds or less, can you win the audience over?
What's most likely to happen in 2025? In my opinion, I think it's Nick Bonito, 15-plus sacks. And I just raved about this guy here not too long ago. He had 13.5 sacks last season. That's both the most realistic, I think stat on that poll that Keith put out there, 15-plus sacks, is Nick Bonito. I mean, this guy, I think he knows he's got to step up this season. And yes, Bo Nix, league MVP. There's a lot of great quarterbacks out there, and Patrick Surtain, a winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's very, very hard for a cornerback to win. Edge rushers, premium position. Nick Bonito getting 15-plus sacks. I think is absolutely more likely than anything out of all these scenarios. I think this is a guy that's in his contract year. He knows he's got to step it up, not only for this season, but for his whole entire career, his family. He's trying to get life-changing money. You do that by stepping up in your final season, your contract season, and putting up your best season across the board. And I'm sure Nick Bonito has been hard at work this offseason doing so. Nick Bonito, 15-plus sack season. Kenny, you can book it.
Like it. Jody, I'm going to give your scores. You got a 2 from Roy, a 2 from Clayton. I'm going 2.4. It was mostly, in your opinion, most likely to happen. I would say, you still got Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Is that most likely to happen? That would be my only criticism on that. Bo Nix's going to have a solid year, and he might be in the running for it, but I don't know if the definition is most likely to happen because of those other guys in that league with them that get the popular vote. So for that reason, you get a 2.4 from me because I was doing Roy's system and 2s. So that's a 2. That's 6.4. You're going to get a 2.2 if I'm doing the math?
2.1, 2.2, somewhere in there.
We'll do 2.2 for Jody, and we'll do the scores at the end. In this round, you had 20 at 2.2. You got 22.2. Trevor, you're getting some 3s. I went a little less. I'm going 2.6. So 5.6 for you. That's 2.8, if I'm mistaken, right? 2.8. 21.8. You just fell behind Jody. Keith, it's up to you. You're going to take this home, or are you going to let the long shot pull away with the win? You got it, my friend. We're just over the hour mark. You got 30 seconds or less.
Well, I'll try to make this in 30 seconds or less. Consistency for Bo Nix to continue his progression and go ahead and take that next step and be the quarterback we need to be. Progression and consistency to go ahead and Nick Bonito take that next step. He's continued to take those steps. 13.5. Now he wants to get to 15. Consistency. I've been talking all episode about RJ Harvey. I would be inconsistent if I went against what I said and didn't vote for RJ Harvey getting 1,000+ yards. Said it all episode. We've been waiting for it, but we've been wanting it. I've endorsed this guy since pre-draft. RJ Harvey as 1,000-yard rusher makes this Broncos team a completely different dimensional team. Book it. RJ Harvey goes for 1,000+ yards.
Well said, gentlemen. Keith, I have you down as a 2.7 on your take. Ernie's giving you a 2.9. That's a 5.6 divided by 2, 2.8. If you throw Pearl in there with a 3, a 2.9. Keith, you're going to take 22.9 points into the final round and a victory with that final question. Jody, 22.2, and Trevor, 21.8. Trevor, if you wore a Bronco shirt, you might have won this competition. Just saying. You would have been down by a 1/10 of a point. You maybe would have pulled it out. But that being said, thank you guys for participating. Thank you, audience, for your participation. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to pass it back to Keith now while we get our final thoughts in and wrap up our show.
Yeah, usually the champion gets their final thoughts, and my final thoughts is this was a fantastic episode, really put together by the guy in the middle now, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Man, got to give hats off because I don't know if this is a well-deserved win. I maybe tried to, sway as much as possible the audience that was out there. Trevor, Jody, absolute fantastic takes. Appreciate the competition, and this was an absolute blast. I loved sitting back and having a fantastic episode with Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick being the host with the most, Mr. Cowabunga Kenny, Thank you very much, Kenny. You put on an absolutely amazing episode, and I can't wait to do this again. There's my championship, Paul Schaefer trophy. I appreciate it, Paul. Love the interaction from the posse, and can't wait to get you guys more involved as we go forward in episodes like this and other episodes going forward. But really, just absolute love and appreciation for the victory, so I could give appreciation to my fellow co-hosts and my hosts.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you, everybody. It's the off season, so you try and come up with ideas, and we had this idea last year, and it was a success. So, we have a few weeks before mini camp, so you could talk about the same stuff every other podcast is doing, or you can have fun, interactive episodes like this and like the one we had last week. And I truly enjoy doing this with everybody. I love the ideas, and my co-hosts get credit as well because they came up with some of these questions, and our audience members as well. Posse, we love you all. Great participation, and you want to see more like this, we'll do more like this because we'll come up with ideas, and what makes us special is we're unique. So and that's what we're going to bring to the table, that uniqueness along with that knowledge, and we're going to be different, and that's what it's all about. So thank you, everybody. See everybody next. I won't see everybody next week. I'm going to be on vacation next week. I'll try and tune in to say hello. While live, maybe I'll get a little hello in, but I'm going to be at the beach. So got the Hawaii shirt on a little early. Not going to Hawaii, but I'm going to the beach. So I will be there for a week, and we'll see everybody soon.
Awesome, Kenny, man. You enjoy yourself at whatever beach you may be at. Hopefully you see some beauties, as you're in your own bikini. All right, I got to get it around to everybody else. So go ahead. Go inside, Kenny.
I just said you gloat in the wind.
There you go. I'm going to get some final goodbyes from everybody on the show. Best throwback outfit, man. I got to give it to Jody first, man, to get some final goodbyes, man. Love that shirt. Love that hat, man. Give us some final goodbyes. I know that you weren't a winner, but truly a great competitor, my friend.
We're a month away from, training camp starting off, and I'm very excited. My 7-year-old daughter asked me this week, she said, when do the Broncos play? She's excited. The Broncos room is up and ready to go almost. It's Super Bowl or bust, baby. Can't be more excited, and I will triple down on it. Bo Nix will be your MVP this year, and we are going to see special things this year.
I love the triple down, man, on the Bo Nix, man. Not letting it go even in the loss, man. Trevor, you're up next.
First and foremost, thank you, Kenny. For coming up with this idea. It's been a long time since we did Around the Horseshoe. Maybe we'll do a slight one before the regular season starts, because I think I can speak for Jody too, we want revenge. But Kenny, Kenny, that shirt is also a 10 out of 10. Just saying, I love that shirt, and you're rocking that again tonight. I think you should rock that on your vacation next week as well. You got a lot of women coming your way. But appreciate everybody in the posse for joining and for having the discussion and just giving us grades. We really appreciate everybody. We do this for you guys. All these creative ideas we come up with. It's exciting. It's a little bit of downtime in the off season. So, being unique and coming up with new ideas is absolutely something we want to continue to do for you guys. So thank you everybody for joining, watching live or after the fact. We'll see you next time. Hope everybody has a great week. Go Broncos.
Love it, Trevor. Love it. Kenny, go get yourself a lady, I guess, as far as Trevor's concerned. That's what your vacay is all about. But no, just to reiterate, fantastic episode. Couldn't have produced and put together a better show myself if I wanted to. Kenny, all the accolades go to you. I appreciate the win. I look forward to defending my championship and my trophy. Gentlemen, come hunt. Good luck. I'm just kidding. No, in all honesty, I take it humbly and honestly, can't wait for what the Denver Broncos are about to do. If you don't know, we go live every Tuesday, every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That way you never miss a beat. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Catch us live. Take us on the go. We appreciate all the love and support you give us all, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode. It's right around the corner. Friday is just about there. Have a great week, everybody. Can't wait to see you next. And Kenny, we're going to miss you. Can't wait to see you back again. With that, we're out of here. Have a great night, everybody. We're out.